Well, the times have caught up with me. Suddenly it's the middle of winter and I haven't rode my bike in 4 months. Fortunately for me, my buddy Casey from Specialized Canada called me up and asked me if I wanted to borrow his fat bike. So I'm just arriving at the trails now, and I've got this big cargo van to do some overnight camping and go ride again tomorrow. This should be a good couple of days. Behold, the 2020 Specialized Fatboy Comp Carbon. I'm stoked to ride this thing over the next couple of days. Just setting off into the forest now. Got 3 PSI in my tires. Feels so weird, but I'm just so happy to be on a bike right now. I can definitely see myself wanting one of these things in the future. It's my second time at Copeland Forest. First time was this summer, and they got some good mountain bike trails in here. It's my first time fat biking out at Copeland, and these are some nicely groomed trails. Great traction at 3 PSI. Today's gonna be a short ride, I think. Sun's already kind of going down, and I want there to be some light when I get set up for overnighting tonight, and that should be interesting because it's supposed to be negative 20 degrees out tonight. I've got a secret weapon to keep me warm, but I've never tested it, so I hope it works. It's a little steep right here. Cool. Just getting the lay of the land, and I'll come back tomorrow and ride all day. Nice trail markers. Just getting back to the van after about a 90-minute ride. There's Horseshoe Resort across the road over there. They rent fat bikes, so if you want to ride Copeland, that's a good place to start. Gotta get this guy set up for a cold Canadian overnight. About an hour north of Toronto. Close to Barrie, Ontario, actually. And it's like the middle of winter right now, so kind of nervous actually. Okay, I just got to my camp spot for the night. Get some lights set up so I can see what I'm doing here. I've actually stayed here before, so this is an old public parking lot. It just doesn't get used anymore, so I don't expect to be bothered here over the night. But it is negative 20 out. So this is the perfect night to test my new winter sleep system. I'm going to get that unpacked now. So this is the secret weapon I was talking about earlier. This is a heated vest made by Ororo. I actually work outside occasionally as a camera operator, and I saw that one of our other camera operators also had the same vest. And as soon as I saw that, I was like, oh yeah, I need that thing. And I've actually tried it at work now a few times, and it's just lovely. That's the only way I can describe it. I hate being cold. But before I bought it, I actually thought to myself, I could probably use that as a sleeping bag warmer for winter car camping or even tent camping. But at this time, my only concern is I'm not sure if it can get through a full night. And in a month, I've got a trip where I'm much further than an hour from home. So tonight, I'm going to try and get through the whole night in probably what's going to be the coldest weather I camp in this year. So the plan to make sure the battery lasts is to only use it when I need it. So when I go to bed, I'm not going to have it on. And then just when I get cold, I'm going to turn it on. So as for the rest of my sleep system, I've got 2 yoga mats laid out side by side. And on top of that, I've got a closed cell foam pad with a Reflectix layer on top. On top of that, I've got a 3-season thermarest. And then I'll be using my summer sleeping bag inside of a 3-season sleeping bag inside of another 3-season sleeping bag. And then on top of all that, I'll be putting hot water inside of an Nalgene bottle. So I'm going to get that boiling right now. So I've just got some snow inside of this pot on top of a butane stove. Apparently butane doesn't work very well in the cold, but there it goes. So I'm gonna keep my eye on that and wait for this to come to a boil. So for anybody wondering why I'd actually do something like this for fun, in the summertime, camping is a big part of my lifestyle. And in the winter, I miss it just as much as I miss riding my bike, actually. And I know there's other ways to camp, like a four-season tent and four-season bags, or a hot stove and like a canvas tent. But those are all really expensive, and this is basically what I can afford at this time. I kind of get now how ski bums feel, because like skiing, I mean, you go to the lifts, you pay $50 for your lifts, you're paying for food. And if you're going to pay for lodging, after just 2 days of skiing, you're spending like $400 to $500 just to ski for 2 days. Winter sports are tough. So if I can figure this out and actually stay warm, then this is going to allow me to ride my bike a lot more. So that would be great, because I love going on little trips like this. And it's not just a once or twice a year kind of thing for me. I want to go on like 10, 12 trips a year. So yeah, this is my first crack at it, and I hope I get a good night's sleep tonight. I think that water's about to finish boiling, so I'm going to go check on that. So the rumors about butane are true. It does not like the cold. I actually had to move it into the van just to keep it going. But at last, I've achieved a light boil. So that's going to go into this Nalgene bottle here, and that will go inside the sleeping bag to keep my feet warm. So I'm going to get to bed. I've got a big day on the bike tomorrow. Stoked. So that was a good night of rest. The heated vest worked exactly as I thought it would. I just basically turned it on whenever I needed it, and I was never cold. I wasn't able to leave it on throughout the whole night, but 2 batteries would have solved that problem, and then I would have been like really warm. And the water bottle with the hot water was also clutch as well. It kept my lower body nice and toasty. Yeah, now I'm just going to get some breakfast at the Horseshoe Resort, and then I'm gonna ride my bike. Achy breaky loop. Do not start after 1:30 p.m. Well, it's 1:30 p.m. I guess that means I gotta go for it. Another day in paradise. These trails are so chill. Literally nothing crazy out here, at least on the fat bike trail, and I am cool with that. Got a bit of a hill here. Was a little bit worried about my fitness, but I've been in the gym about 4 times a week for the last month, and I'm doing okay so far. Starting to sweat a little bit. That's not good. Oh, I think it's time to go down. Drop the dropper. I'll try and watch my front brake, because I ain't never done this before. Wow. Full of ruts. I haven't really done much fat biking. It's a whole new set of challenges. We've got a wooden bridge coming up here. It's just covered in ice. Got over it okay. So this bike is running Maxxis Minion FB tires, 3.8 inches wide. Some bikes come in 4.5 and I think even higher, but so far in these conditions this bike is doing great. The only thing I am habitually worried about, just because I can't help but worry about it, is losing my front end. So I'm not using my front brake as much maybe as I should be. Here's another ladder bridge here. Oh, going slow, going slow. Got it. That was just all ice. It's funny how those little things that you wouldn't even think about on a regular bike in the summer just become so challenging when they're covered in ice. It's more of a mind game type of thing. So I don't think it's any secret that I use a GoPro to film my rides, but it actually keeps freezing. And I mean like freezing, not software issues. So what I did was I stuck it inside my glove here. That's it right there, that lump. And I've got a hand warmer inside my glove, so the heat is actually keeping the GoPro warm. And then I'll just use it when I need it. So other than that, I'm just enjoying this ride. Sans GoPro. So I just finished a big loop on the fat bike trail. I had a few little challenges in there. That was pretty fun. But I think I'm gonna see if some of the mountain bike trails that are open in the summer are even possible to ride right now. Maybe some locals have been riding them. This is just so much fun to be out on a bike in the forest. So I made it to the top of the mountain bike trails that I rode this summer. There's 3 trails that connect at this point. And my favorite one that I rode in the summer is right here. It's called the Copeland downhill trail, but it's just not even recognizable. I think there's some deer prints running through it, but I don't see any even snowshoes going through there. Over there we got Ricky Bobby, but that's a very undulating trail. I bet you it's going to be full of ice. And right here I think is the best option. This is actually a climbing trail called the Mile High Climbing Trail, but it's a very steady climb, which means it's going to be a very steady descent. And I don't think I'll be running into any climbers today, so I'm going to do this one. Just getting ready to drop in here. Question at the top of every run is, do I wear these big gloves? They definitely inhibit my braking modulation, but should make the trail a little more challenging at least. Yeah, this is a good little stretch of trail so far. It's nicely worn in by snowshoers. Good little corner there. Got the foot out. Nice, coming onto a ridge here. Super sick. Now, this trail is not meant for riding down, so have to be aware there could be some really steep switchbacks or sharp corners. Wow, snow's getting in my eyes too. Crazy. Fun run. Really wanted to get some speed on this thing over the last couple days because this 3 PSI feels great at speed. Now I get it. Now I totally get it. Just grabs on the snow. It doesn't make any sense. It totally feels foreign to what I'm used to. Cool line. Strava line there. Oh, these corners are sick. Almost lost it on that one. Getting low here. Almost at the bottom. There it is. Sweet run. Very cool. That last trail was exactly what I was looking for. Just heading back to the van now. I don't think I'm gonna top that. It was a really successful couple of days actually. My new heated vest kept me warm all night last night. And a big thanks to Casey for letting me borrow this awesome bike. It's been great. And I'm just stoked that fat biking is becoming such a thing that there's trails like this all over the place. That's awesome. So anyways, it's time to head back home. Until next time, ride good trails.